Good morning. Thank you for joining me in this morning mindfulness practice. Yesterday, I was talking about the power of assumption, assuming that what you really want is yours. Just imagining it's yours and what that would be like, what that would feel like, what state of being you must be in order to attract it. And I was reading from Neville Goddard's book, The Power of Awareness. When I studied with my mentor, Bob Proctor, he suggested that we study chapter 14, The Effortless Way, and then The Power of Assumption, which is chapter 3, and then Subjective Control, chapter 12. So today I'm going to talk about chapter 3 in The Power of Awareness, and that is the power of assumption. Neville Goddard is pretty deep and flowery language, but I know that this is going to resonate with you. It's going to strike a chord. You're here because you want something different. And instead of going back and forth between the present and the past and the present and the past, we're going to develop some cells of recognition for the future, for the goals that we want, for the state of being that we prefer, and develop an assumption that that which we wish for, which we desire, is ours. What is it that you desire? Think about what brings you joy and happiness, peace and fulfillment. What does it look like? You already have some pictures of what that looks like from past experience. What made you happy? What are you proud of? Let's take that energy and develop it into practicing what that would be like in the future when we really have what we want, what we really desire. So just sit back and listen to the power of assumption. Man's chief delusion is his conviction that there are causes other than his own state of consciousness. All that befalls a man, all that is done by him, all that comes from him, happens as a result of his state of consciousness. A man's consciousness is all that he thinks and desires and loves, all that he believes is true and consents to. That's why a change of consciousness is necessary before you can change your outer world. Rain falls as a result of a change in the temperature in the higher regions of the atmosphere. So, in like manner, a change of circumstance happens as a result of a change in your consciousness. Be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. To be transformed, the whole basis of your thoughts must change. But your thoughts cannot change unless you have new ideas, for you think from your ideas. All transformation begins with an intense, burning desire to be transformed. The first step in the renewing of the mind is desire. You must want to be different and intend to be before you can begin to change yourself. Then you must make your future dream a present fact. How do you do this? You do this by assuming the feeling of your wish fulfilled. By desiring to be other than what you are, you can create an ideal of the person you want to be and assume that you already are that person. If this assumption is persisted in until it becomes your dominant feeling, the attainment of your ideal is inevitable. So, what's really important about that? There's something that you want, there's something that you desire, there's something that you prefer. Maybe there are some qualities in other people that you see that you would like to emulate, not copy the person, but just have some similar qualities, not envy and jealousy and resentment, but wouldn't it be nice? Wouldn't it be nice if I was calm under pressure? Wouldn't it serve me better to look on the bright side of things, to expect that things are going to work out, that things are always working out in my favor? It's not revolving around the current and the past way of being, but persisting in the feeling of what you really want. Persisting, not thinking about it for a couple of minutes and then living the rest of the day on autopilot, worrying and doubting and fearing and in an anxious state of being. No, you need to practice being the way you want to be, what you intend to be. I'm going to read this again. To be transformed, the whole basis of your thoughts must change. But your thoughts cannot change unless you have new ideas. For you think from your ideas. All transformation begins with an intense, burning desire to be transformed. So in order to be or have or do something different, have different results show up in your life, you need to start thinking about what it is that you want. Maybe you have a clear picture of what an ideal life looks like. Maybe you have a clear picture and then you beat yourself up because you're not there. Or you say, oh, forget about it, it's never going to happen. Well, when you say things like that, of course it's never going to happen. You must transform through your thinking, through your feeling, through the actions that you take, not a fleeting thought about what you want and then forgetting about it. You must make your future dream a present fact by assuming the feeling of your wish fulfilled. Why do you want what you want? Because you believe it will make you happier, healthier, more peaceful, more fulfilled. You'll be living more life, more fun, more excitement. And that's not greed. That is the spiritual side of you. That is the God energy flowing through you, wanting to experience more life through you as an individual representation of source energy. Neville Goddard says, by desiring to be other than what you are, you can create an ideal of the person you want to be and assume that you are already that person. You're just growing and developing and becoming that. Think about where you are now, whatever age, 25 or 50 or 75 years old. It doesn't matter how old you are. You're no longer a 3-year-old. You're no longer an awkward 13-year-old. You're no longer a baby. You've had thoughts and experiences in your life that have brought you to the point that you are, and you want more because you're a spirit in a human body, and that's what you're here to do, to create more, to live life, not to be told how to live your life or what you should be doing, but what do you want to experience in this lifetime? By desiring to be bigger, more, better, to be other than what you are, you can create an ideal of the person you want to be and assume that you are already that person. So that means you have to get into a calm, quiet state of being and think about what that would look like, what that would feel like. Who do you want to become? You are you, but what does a more developed, better, more fulfilled, joyful, peaceful, loving, happy version of you look like? We're always striving to be better. Neville Goddard says, if this assumption is persisted in until it becomes your dominant feeling, the attainment of your ideal is inevitable. More health, more wealth, more love, more fulfillment, more joy. That's what you're here for. Ideal you hope to achieve is already ready for an incarnation, but unless you yourself offer it human parentage, it is incapable of birth. You have an idea, you have a thought, you have a picture in your mind, you have something you're holding in your heart. In order for it to become physical reality, you must bring it into being. You must give birth to this idea. Neville says, therefore, your attitude should be one in which, having desired to express a higher state, you alone accept the task of incarnating this new and greater value of yourself. In giving birth to your ideal, you must bear in mind that the methods of mental and spiritual knowledge are entirely different. The methods of mental and spiritual knowledge are entirely different. So you can't look back in your past and figure out from your present or your past how to get to that future state of being. It's a different method. Neville says this is a point that is truly understood by probably not more than one person in a million. You know a thing mentally by looking at it from the outside, by comparing it with other things, by analyzing it and defining it, by thinking of it. Whereas you can only know a thing spiritually only by becoming it, only by thinking from it. In order to think from your goal, from the target that you're going after, from your ideal version, you have to get into that energetic spirit. You have to allow yourself to go there, to be there, to think from your wish already fulfilled, the goal already attained. If you were an athlete, what does it feel to be hoisting the trophy, to have the gold medal placed around your neck? You would be so proud and excited and fulfilled, thinking from that place while you're practicing, while your muscles are getting sore, while you're working, grinding it out over and over and over, practicing, practicing, practicing. You're holding an image of being on the podium, celebrating with your teammates. You have to see yourself in the picture. You must think from it. Neville Goddard says you must be the thing itself and not merely talk about it or look at it. You must be like the moth in search of its idol, the flame who, spurred with true desire, plunging at once into the sacred fire, folded his wings within till he became one color and one substance with the flame. He only knew the flame who in it burned, and only he could tell who ne'er to tell returned. Just as the moth in his desire to know the flame was willing to destroy himself, so must you, in becoming a new person, be willing to die to your present self. You must be conscious of being healthy if you are to know what health is. You must be conscious of being secure if you are to know what security is. Therefore, to incarnate a new and greater value of yourself, you must assume that you already are what you want to be, and then live by faith in this assumption, which is not yet incarnate in the body of your life, in confidence that this new value or state of consciousness will become incarnated through your absolute fidelity to the assumption that you are that which you desire to be. This is what wholeness means, what integrity means. They mean submission to the whole self, to the feeling of the wish fulfilled, in certainty that this new state of consciousness is the renewing of the mind which transforms. We're transforming thought energy into our physical experience. There is no order in nature corresponding to this willing submission of the self to the ideal beyond the self. Therefore, it is the height of folly to expect the incarnation of a new and greater concept of self to come about by natural evolutionary process. That which requires a state of consciousness to produce its effect obviously cannot be affected without such a state of consciousness. And in your ability to assume the feeling of a greater life, to assume a new concept of yourself, you possess what the rest of nature does not possess: imagination, the instrument by which you create your world. Your imagination is the instrument, the means whereby your redemption from slavery, sickness, and poverty is effected. If you refuse to assume the responsibility of the incarnation of a new and higher concept of yourself, then you reject the means, the only means whereby your redemption, that is, the attainment of your ideal, can be affected. Imagination is the only redemptive power in the universe. However, your nature is such that it is optional to you whether you remain in your present concept of yourself, a hungry being longing for freedom, health, and security, or choose to become the instrument of your own redemption, imagining yourself as that which you want to be, and thereby satisfying your hunger and redeeming yourself. Oh, be strong then and brave, pure, patient, and true. The work that is yours, let no other hand do. For the strength for all you need is faithfully given from the fountain within you, the kingdom of heaven. Haven't you heard that before in religious studies? The kingdom of heaven is within you. If you are longing for a different life, let it be the end of longing and become that which you prefer. Use your imagination to bring to you what it is that you really want. Get clear in your mind. Start thinking thoughts. If you were living the life that you dream of, what purposeful work would you be doing? Where would you be living? What kind of experiences would you be having? What does it feel like to be fulfilled, to feel victorious, to feel proud and joyful and peaceful, to feel well-being? We are an expression of the thoughts and feelings that we've been practicing. If you have an idea of what you want, you have a picture in your mind, get clear on what that looks like, and imagine that you're already there. Get so clear on the picture. You know why you want it. If you want to be healthy, you must be conscious of what does healthy feel like and look like. If you want to be wealthy, how would you be spending your days? What would you be spending your money on? How would you be helping your family? What charities would you be giving to? What would you do for yourself? You would feel worthy of the wealth. You would feel worthy of health. You would feel worthy of security and fulfillment and well-being. Assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled. I'm going to read that first paragraph again. Mankind's chief delusion is his conviction that there are causes other than his own state of consciousness. All that befalls a man, all that is done by him, all that comes from him, happens as a result of his state of consciousness. A person's consciousness is all that he thinks and desires and loves, all that he believes is true and consents to. That is why a change of consciousness is necessary before you can change your outer world. So, whatever picture you have in your marvelous mind of how you want to be living, what you want to be doing with your life, think from that picture. Get clear on your vision. Get clear on, it could be the big picture of where you're living and what you're doing and who you're affecting. If you want to have your own business or teaching or coaching practice, if it's leaving a place that you don't want to be, think of the opposite. What do you want? Not looking at all the problems or what might happen, but the end result, what you want to be or do or have, thinking from the end, from the goal, from the wish fulfilled. And then write out what that looks like. Who have you become? How are you acting? How do you feel now that your work is fulfilling? You love your work so much that it doesn't feel like work. You're well paid for what you do. You're living a life of ease and flow. Wealth is pouring into your bank account, and you get to decide. You choose. Who are you helping? What are you investing in? The first step is to invest in yourself. Become the person that has the goal. Think from the end. As you're thinking and writing and feeling, ideas start to come from you. And as you change your thoughts, you have new ideas, you think from your ideas, you start to believe that that is possible, and you get into the assumption, assuming that this is yours, and things will start to show up that lay the path for you to reach your desired goal. Neville Goddard says, in giving birth to your ideal, you must bear in mind that the methods of mental and spiritual knowledge are entirely different. In order for you to birth your new idea, you have to get into the spiritual feeling of what it's like. Thinking from the goal, from your idea already brought into form. The energy of thinking from the goal will give you ideas, impulses, and as you take action, your goal gets closer and closer to you. The path is revealed. You must persist in thinking from your goal already attained, assuming it's yours now. What would it look like? What would it feel like? Who have you become now that your wish has been fulfilled? Create a picture. Feel from that picture, from the wish fulfilled. Spend more time in that energetic state of being, and soon you'll be consciously aware that that is your physical reality. It takes persistence and practice. Create a wonderful day. Enjoy your weekend. I'll see you back here Monday morning at 7. If you're listening to this on YouTube, please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.